What's up, guys? Welcome back to View. And Scream 6 is now officially released in theaters, and with that, we have a total of six Scream movies all together, and with a Scream that consistently is being a horror franchise, with that being a consistently, and with all these films being good, and some of them being not good as well. So in this video, we'll be a full ranking of all the six Scream movies that are going to be ranked from worst to best, and also keep in mind that these are just a amount of opinions on why I put that a Scream film there on my ranking list, and much more as well. But if you're a dose of this, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so I'll revisit this feature. So let's get into it. And now, so starting way below at number 6 is Scream 4. And now the reason why this is at number 6, it's because even with the Scream 4 that introduced new characters, while still keeping the original characters, as well as such as for Sidney Prescott, Gale Weathers, and Dewey Riley, and it's especially with this film that had an opening scene of like so many stab movies that introduced like more stab movies as well, and even with Ghostface coming after them, and like especially with introducing Kirby, who we saw in a Scream 6, and like especially like with all these stabbings, and especially well the kills, I'd say this is probably like my second least favorite Scream movie. And next, and number 5 is Scream 3. And now I think with this film, its storyline was all over the place. And we don't get that same interaction with Sidney, Gale, and Dewey like we did the first two Scream movies. And in fact, it had a movie introduction called Stab. And like if you know, its killer reveal was a pretty unpredictable, especially from the start of that movie as well. And we don't get the same interaction, and its storyline was all over the place. We just don't get the same kind of vibe as did the other earlier Scream movies as well. And next, and number 4 is Scream 5. And now with this film, this rebooted the entire franchise. It brought back like this franchise back, which everyone was excited for. Plus, it introduced the Carpenter sisters, Sam and Tara, and even brought back a Sidney Prescott, Gale Weathers, and even a Dewey Riley. And like even though we saw like a Dewey die in that film, and we just didn't get to see Sidney and Dewey having interaction one last time, and even having a Gale back. It was so nice to see with them that rebooted the franchise. Even though with this film that introduced newer characters, but still brought back the original characters as well. And this film even made some connections to the franchise, like with Sam being revealed to be the daughter of Billy Loomis, and even with the third act I took place in Stu Munger's house, and even having some iconic scenes that were the direct callbacks to the franchise as well, but it still maintained to keep it fresh, even though it rebooted the entire franchise. Especially with introducing new characters, so especially paying a tribute to Wes Craven, who passed away like years ago, but by having a character named Wes Hicks. And next, number 3 is Scream 2. And now with this film, that was an awesome follow-up sequel to the original Scream that came out in 1996, and this came out the year after that film. Is that we followed Sidney in college and at Woodsboro, and especially out of all like chaos and trauma with a Ghostface, but with a Ghostface that still came after even in college, and came after all over college friends, and even still trying to keep it fresh, and even having like the original characters like Dewey and Gale back as well. And we even get that same interaction with the Sidney, Gale, and Dewey, even from the first Scream movie as well. And I think it was an awesome follow-up to the first film. And next, and number 2 is Scream 6. And now with this film, I really enjoyed it a lot. I think that this is like my second favorite Scream movie. That's why I put it at a number 2 on this list. It's because this film took place in New York City, and not in Woodsboro. but like with the Ghostface that like is like coming after them one by one and right down the hallways, and this movie had the most bloodies and gory kills that I've ever seen, especially in a Scream movie. Like even having like Gale back, even though with not having Sidney in this film, and even though with this film, I totally addressed like Sidney's absence perfectly on how she went into hiding, and even having callbacks to the franchise as well, from Tara punching Gale. I think that was a perfect callback to the first two Scream movies when Sidney punched Gale, and like even though like this is a direct follow-up from the last Scream movie, Scream 5, I thought that this was an awesome Scream movie to witness on the big screen, especially with those kills. And lastly, and number one is Scream. And now it's the film that I started it all. It introduced a Ghostface, it introduced the Scream Queen, Sidney Prescott, and this is the movie I pretty much got people. It's a horror. It's especially with the iconic question with the Ghostface saying like, do you like scary movies? And like Ghostface saying, what's your favorite scary movie? And this is the film that I started it all. And it introduced like a Sidney, Gale, and Dewey, and even though with this franchise continues to be fresh, and even though with the film's long opening scene with Drew Barrymore's Casey Becker, and it still remains to be iconic to this day, and with that Casey Becker pick up the phone to a Ghostface's voice, asking her like, what's your favorite scary movie, and like even an entry on trivia with the many other films and a horror genre, and like even just Billy Loomis is still Monger as well, and like even with this franchise that continues to be consistent. And yeah, and with this ranking, again, these are just my opinions on why I put that Scream movie there on that list. And plus, this franchise continues to be consistent with all 6 Scream movies. And plus, we have a new Scream movie out right now. I think with another Scream movie, Scream 7, I think it's already a green light. I'm pretty sure that we are definitely getting another Scream movie. As this franchise, like I said and mentioned, it continues to be consistent with the other Scream movie comes out, and even when it's a killer reveal that I continue to be unpredictable, especially from the start as well, and everyone gassing, and like I really enjoy this franchise. I think that's what got people into horror as well, and so glad that we have a new Scream movie, and curious to see for what's the story, especially as they continue this awesome franchise while still keeping everything, especially with the franchise to be fresh as well. So that's it for the first video. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, and what your thoughts on my ranking, and what is your ranking of all the 6 Scream movies in the comments down below. We can get this video a like and subscribe to turn on the notification bell for future videos. If live updates, always follow me on Twitter. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.